Ladies and gentlemen, the crypto market has started to pump yet again, and some massive announcements have been coming out over the past couple of hours. While the situation that shall not be named, WAR, that situation, while that might actually be de-escalating, causing the prices of oil and some other things to start falling back down, I'm not saying it's fully de-escalated, I'm saying there are some signs that it is de-escalating. At the same time though, the crypto announcements that have come out over the past 12 hours, crazy. I mean, first of all, Bitcoin hit $108,000. XRP back to $2.30. Hype is going hyped up, just crazy, crazy, crazy. And I mean, I'm looking at this top list and I'm enjoying every single second of watching it. This is what it looked like a few hours ago. If I just quickly refresh this right now, let's just quickly see. So Bitcoin at almost 108,000. Ethereum today not doing much. Even though it's up 3%, it doesn't really feel like much, right? XRP up 7%, one of the best performers. Hyperliquid at $45, up 8%. Chainlink doing good. And let's just quickly see if there's any double-digit gainers. Let's just quickly rank it otherwise. Aerodrome is up 16%. Caspa up 10 and Pendle up 9 or so. So generally speaking, a very, very positive day. Also, Virtual's up 6.5%, which of course is nice for our trades. Obviously, I did not buy any additional on the main positions on Blowfin right here. I could have though, because it could have been pretty damn juicy. But basically the whole video I made yesterday is shut the frick up and go all in. And I'm kind of happy that exactly like 12 hours after I make a video of saying basically everybody should all in if they haven't done it yet, which again is not finished advice, those are my thoughts, the price starts doing this. So basically anybody who listened to my my thoughts, or who agrees with them I should say, is up right now. Anyway, XRP back to resistance. This resistance is plus minus, I'm going to say 1 cent. So as of this point, actually XRP gets to another kind of scary area, because this is also where we previously topped out at, like about last week, but also a few weeks back at the end of May. This area is where we faced most of the struggles. So if you're holding XRP and you're waiting for where to long, whatnot, I would say if we get above this hurdle, again, a good area would come up, or again, when you're in the bottoms of the range, right? This $2.09 minus, so basically $2.09, $2.05 or so, is where XRP has bounced off multiple times in the past. Also here you can see a little bit earlier in May, it also passed off of that area. So it seems if you're looking for the safest area to long, I would say $2 or about maybe 10% above it or so is still fine to get into it. But 10% in this case here would be $2.20, which would be slightly on the upper curve. Because again, on some of these moves, it could have actually already been nice to sell at $2.20. But over a longer term, it seems that always buying at this area would have been a pretty solid move. And I've kept that up a long time. $2 per XRP is the golden price to buy for this season, it seems. And I'll quickly say, if you also want to trade crypto and you want some bonuses for doing that, if you want an exchange that has no KYC to trade crypto with, WeX is one of the best ones. Because again, no KYC, it doesn't stop you from doing anything, right? So you can check that one out. The one I use a lot for the trades you see right now on the video, it's Blowfin, but you might need to use a VPN. And if you want to use these crypto trading bots that I keep showcasing, where basically everything is automated, you don't got to think about nothing, just follow my strategies, you can check out the first link to Pionex. You also get $100 for just signing up, and there's more bonuses, but you can find them by clicking the second link right there. You might even get yourself another $800 for free. And then there's all these different bots I've got running, and there's here's a tutorial for how to open a bot, etc. And here's how the bots are doing, by the way. Generally speaking, they're pretty freaking nice. Let me just put it like that. And man, I just love scrolling through the bots here to see how they have been doing, how they are performing. XRP bots looking juicy again because of this pump back in the 20K profit zone. Anyway, let's quickly cover everything that's going on in terms of news, right? And if you've not done it yet, make sure you go ahead and press the like button on this video, and let's dive right in. So it was SOL, but hype is a nice number 2. What are we talking about here? We're talking about the winner of the cycle. The fun fact is, this cycle has already been so long, because I remember at the bottom of the cycle, Solana was like, what? $10? I don't remember the exact low. Apparently it was $8. $8 to 300 is the run of the cycle. Then again, the end of the cycle is not here yet, right? I got distracted and decided to eat an apple, but I'll quickly get back to it, right? But the cycle officially is not over. And I do indeed wonder how things are going to change throughout. Like, for example, Solana did a massive run from $8 to 300, and we're wondering what coin can do something like that next, right? But on another angle, it's also a matter of, well, what do you consider to be the cycle winner? Based off of what? Is it transaction counts? Is it, the overall popularity, etc.? I mean, Solana was freaking adopted by the president, and everything for meme coins was on Solana for a good while. Which makes me question, which makes me wonder, does that mean that Solana has basically peaked? I mean, it can still do a 5x from current price, don't get me wrong, but I'm talking peaked in terms of, popularity mindshare, percentage-wise. And then even though it could do some massive numbers, there's now another coin that has this growth curve to get to, because Solana right now is at the top already. That does not mean it can't go another massive multiplier, because if the market in general does a 3x, there's a good chance Solana does a 5x, for example. But I don't think Solana can get more popular than it is right now, or can it? That's a good question. Then again, there are newer projects that are kind of newer in the spotlight, or that have some other announcements coming up that could actually break through the ceiling perhaps. But then again, there's always announcements that could make things even juicier. For example, CoinShares just filed their S1 for spot Solana ETF, which is pretty juicy. Here's what I was talking about earlier. The market always knows. Stock market futures were up sharply this morning, and oil prices reversed a plus 6% rally. We noted just 4 hours ago that it appears the market believes a peace deal is on the horizon. Now headlines are emerging that this country is ready to give up uranium enrichment to end this conflict. Oil prices are extending losses on the news. The smart money always knows the market is never wrong. So that is why I started my video like that, saying, hey, maybe de-escalation is starting. I can't guarantee it, but this is what the market is saying. And these are some of the announcements and headlines that are coming out. Now, another really interesting piece of news was that Tron is apparently ready to go public. And there are two angles to that, right? Tron going public on its own is pretty big. But there was one more announcement. Here we go. DB. 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗀𝗃 said Tron plans to go public and form a MicroStrategy type of company with Eric Trump. Now that was interesting. Why? Well, because Tron to go public in the US via reverse merger, new venture to buy and hold Tron, Eric Trump expected to take a role at the company. This is all cool and all, right? But if we take a look at the quotes, there's unfortunately one that we don't like to see, I guess. And that is that Eric Trump himself said, hey, 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗀𝗃, I'm the biggest fan of Tron, and I love Justin, but even though he's a great friend and an icon in the crypto space, the said below is inaccurate as I don't have any public involvement. Now, this is interesting. When he says public involvement, I do sometimes wonder what that means. Why not just say involvement? Why add the public word? Might meaning it should have not been announced, even though he's involved, and it might be announced later on, or he can't be known to be involved with Tron because it's not a U.S. fully company or something like that. I do not exactly know. But the most interesting piece to me is that Justin's son came out and retweeted it saying, Tron, MicroStrategy, or something like that. The interesting part to me is that Justin came out and fully supported it, being excited, and then Eric is like, Rah! Which makes you question, who exactly is right, or what's going on right there. That's a really, really interesting one. Moon again said, think the Trump family ruins crypto forever. It'll end up like every other one of his businesses. Unfortunate, but at least I know when to fully exit forever. I mean, Coinbase sponsors the military, and we cheer for BlackRock to steal everyone's coins. It's over. Oh, I noticed the camera was stuck. I'm going to say this about the situation. You never really know when to fully exit, even if everything kind of makes sense. So that's a quick rebuttal. But also, to a certain extent, Trump is making crypto more popular than ever. But you could definitely argue that it's making it worse. It's just, you could argue that. And there's nothing I can say against it because it does make some sense. All right, so another announcement. The stock market on the WAR, right? While all the headlines point to more escalation and a longer WAR, the stock market says the exact opposite. Equity markets have turned green, oil is down, and gold is actually down just 0.5. If the market were truly concerned about long-term conflict, oil would have crossed above $100 a barrel. In fact, oil prices are more than 10% below their record high of last week. For now, it appears the market believes a peace deal is on the horizon. The market is telling us something. So again, we're not 100% sure, but pay attention to it. That's all I'll say. Now, another interesting note, and I actually did not observe on this before, but this is quite interesting. Clement says, am I getting this right? Tron, a while back, was investigated by the SEC, right? But after that, Justin's son became the #1 holder of Trump and World Liberty Fi. Or I'm not sure if he became #1, but the top holder. Investigation got dropped. Tron goes public via a reverse merger with Eric Trump, supposedly taking a role at the company. What the frick is going on? Actually, that is indeed a pretty interesting question. What are they discussing at these meetings, huh? Anyway, I could sit here ranting for another few hours, but I think that was the most important news I could have covered. So, yeah, interesting for the market, that's to say the least. Our coins are up from when we set to go all in yesterday, so that, of course, is also nice. I mean, I still expect the market to continue on, but some people are stating that this was the top for the local. I'm going to say it don't really matter, all right? If you think about it from a slightly longer angle, slightly longer perspective, it doesn't really matter. We all know where we're headed, up and up and up and up you go. Like I said before, though, remember that every single time you look back, this is a video I made in October of 2023, so, almost 2 years ago. Really, whenever you look back, you think, it was so obvious. Realize it right now. That's all I'm going to say. Now for this device, just my thoughts. And if you also want to trade crypto, links are down below. Just check them out. All my bot trading is done on Paynex. You can check it out. Link is down below right there. That's about it.